no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. This precious human life, rarely encountered, is easily lost. Now that I have life and opportunity, may I practice the Dharma wholeheartedly.
In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way.
Invocation of the lineage. I give thanks for the guidance of my teachers.
For the lineage of teachers before them, I give thanks and offerings for their devoted practice of generosity, moral discipline, patience, joyful effort, concentration, wisdom, skillful means, unshakable vow, spiritual powers, and awakened awareness for my benefit. May their years of life be lengthened, may their vows be completely realized, and may I cultivate these perfections for their guidance.
7 practices of the Bodhisattva. I bow down in body, speech, and mind.
I offer the best I have to give, both real and imagined, to fill the space between us. I regret and purify all transgressions. I rejoice in all virtues. I request you to remain until total enlightenment. I request wise and compassionate guidance. I dedicate my merit for the sake of all beings.
Generating love and compassion. May all sentient beings be free from clinging and hatred.
Being close to some and distant from others, how wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will free them from clinging and hatred. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will bring them happiness and the causes of happiness. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings be free free from suffering and the causes of suffering. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will free them from suffering and the causes of suffering. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings have the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from clinging, hatred, jealousy, miserliness, doubt, pride, wrong view, ignorance, and dualistic thoughts. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will bring them to this state. Bless me to accomplish this.
Therefore, no fear, far beyond.
Sam Bodhi. Therefore know that Prajnaparamita is the great sacred mantra, the great dividend mantra, the unsurpassed mantra, the supreme mantra, which completely removes all suffering. This is truth, not mere formality. Therefore set forth the Prajnaparamita mantra, set forth this mantra and proclaim Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha.
Infinite the realms of light and being of whole Buddha mind, all that is and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We offer the sincere and devoted practice for the many beings of the 6 worlds and dedicate it in grateful thanks to the strength and sound practice of the great Heartland Sangha and its teachers. May our virtuous actions be cleared from all interferences and may our vows be fully realized. We especially dedicate these merits to those whose names we hold in the silence of our hearts, as well as those whose names we now voice aloud. May we live in perfect peace with Buddha Dharma, and may we realize the Buddha way together. Please prepare for Zazen. We, the Daishin
Kokuji Sangha, with respect for the worth and dignity of each person, with wonder at the wisdom and compassion we seek to cultivate by practice, and with deep gratitude for the teachers of this lineage and our connection to one another, covenant to support each other by upholding the precepts of doing no harm, practicing good, and actualizing good for others.
Kata on opening the sutra.
So good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. If you happen to have landed in a seat where we can't see each other, please be encouraged to move so that I can zap you with Dharma lasers. Or you can be wise and stay hidden, up to you. So we've just finished a retreat, which of course is something that happens regular. It's an ordinary day at the temple, and yet it's no ordinary thing from a very certain perspective to actually find a way to address the heart of things. The heart of things, in fact, can be very difficult to find. Once you find it, it can be very difficult to know how to relate to it, how to integrate it. We find ourselves enmeshed in things that somehow seem to hold disproportionate sway upon us. It's only in stillness and in silence that this trap, such as it is, becomes apparent to us. And so humanity, I would assert, regardless of the tradition or culture, somehow has to find a way to be still, or more appropriately, recall what it is to be still. Remember, dear one, what it is to not be jacked into the matrix and plugged into the machine and on the post-industrial information age conveyor belt. It's important. The Lankavatara Sutra encourages us this way. From the chapter on bodhisattvahood, we read, with the cessation of the mind system in all of its evolving discriminations, there is a cessation of all strain and all effort. What is this cessation of strain? This cessation of effort? Does it not seem that somehow, no matter what the conditions are, somehow this caustic strain and stress, we have modern terms, hypervigilance, let's say. There are a number of ways to describe this, anxiety and so on. But this strain, this effort, somehow, even when trying to rest, it doesn't quite seem like the itch can quite be reached, right? It's not just a matter of taking a little break. That's no answer. This cessation of the mind system, this is important to understand correctly. It does not mean, a full anesthesia. If that were the case, say, everybody just line up, we'll get this taken care of real quick. But no, that solves nothing. It gives you a little break. Did you ever notice in full amnesia you have no sense of time? You're just out and then back, and what happened? And some new pain announces itself to your consciousness, typically. No, it's not that. This cessation of the mind system means simply not creating stories, not creating falsity, not creating narratives, not creating drama. Hero, villain, victim, fools, wise ones, on and on and on. With the non-creating of the mind system and all of these evolving discriminations, it's very important to understand that the way the sutra spells the essential problem out is that in your senses, your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and your brain, dealing with thoughts and feelings and emotions and sensations and external sensorial stimuli, that when these things are encountered, there appears in them a form of a color, perhaps, or a sound. And then this form is discriminated and recognized, categorized, named, becomes thingized. You make a thing out of it. And that loop just keeps going. But these discriminations, the sutra goes on to say, evolve. There's kind of a self-perpetuating game happening here, where we start to make baskets of things we like and things we don't, things that we find pleasing, things that we find prickly, things that we wish to hoard, things we wish to disassociate ourselves from. And this light show, this glare and the shadow, the light and the dark, back and forth, well, it'll kill you, won't it? You will live and die in this tumult. The sutra and the Buddha say something is possible. There's another way to be in relationship to this whole thing. continues like this. It is like a person in a dream who imagines that they are crossing a river and who exerts themselves to the utmost to do so. But they are suddenly awakened. And then being awake, they think, was this true or not true? Being now enlightened, they know that it is neither true nor not true. This dream analogy is very important. It's used often when describing the process of awakening. In fact, we in English use the term awakening to talk about enlightenment or satori or kensho. It's waking up, right? My teacher, Rinsen Roshii, the project of Zen is awakening. And clearly, we sign on to that. That is the job that we're all here to do. And many of us are doing it, in fact, whether you realize it or not. But this waking up has certain implications to it. Imagine yourself in a dream, and there you are, what's true is you're cozy, let's say, in your bed with your favorite hug pillow and the nice cozy blanket and your kitty at your feet or whatever it is. But in your dream, oh, not so. In the dream, you're chased by a tiger, say, or falling off a cliff, say, or drowning, as the sutra brings out. And so it's important to realize that when you're in the dream, let's go with the tiger chasing, that's fun, let's go with that one. You're in the dream, you're being chased by a tiger. Is the answer really in the dream to go right as opposed to left? Is the safety in the cave that's there or in the village to the side? No. Whatever you do in that dream is part of the dream, is it not so? There's no answer inside the dream that gets you out of the dream. You're still dreaming. This is one of the great challenges because the mind system of discrimination in name and form will exhaust itself trying to categorize the correct escape route or the treasures to hoard, the people to vilify and ostracize or welcome. But truly, it's all still in the matrix. You're still just dreaming. And there's a very important process that a practitioner goes through from being completely identified with the contents of that dream and coming to actual awakening and realizing, whoa. Now, the struggle that you feel in that dream, let's just say, is real. When you're actually in the dream, experiencing, say, falling to your imminent death, that experience is real for you. The struggle is real, but it is not true. Please let that land. Just because it feels real doesn't mean it's true. There is no answer within the dream that is any more true than the problem it seeks to solve. These evolving discriminations come about because we are frequently in our daily lives in contact with things that we really don't want to be in contact with. The news, for example. The in-laws, perhaps. The boss. The shell of what once was a strong, vibrant person, now unable to recognize you. Being in contact with that with which you do not want to be in contact with. Also, not being in contact with that with which you wish to be in contact with. I wish it were 72 and sunny. Strangely enough, even when it's 72 and sunny, just wait a minute. Truly, it's as though you can never quite land. When we get fleeting moments of relief, they're only fleeting because you're still in the dream, honey. And don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying nothing is real, therefore nothing matters. It's real. But there's a truth that when you see for yourself the truth of this dream, you become in a radically different relationship to it. You'll still be dreaming. Oh yeah, but you know it's a dream. And you look around in the dream and you see the other characters suffering and you realize this is needless. And even though you know this is not true, you can also see that for them, at least at this time, it is real. And so the Bodhisattva rolls up what sleeves they have and tries to help. This business of, oh boy, there's just so much. What does our sutra, our gatha say here? May all sentient beings, may all the dreamers in full contact with the dream, those who can sense it, may they be free from clinging and hatred, being close to some, distant from others. Why that? Why doesn't it say all those beings who don't have amass the correct amount of toys, may they get them? The answer doesn't lie that way. You see, the sutra calls us to be very suspicious about this discriminating mind of ours. Do not take it for granted. Do not accept it as a given. The sutra goes on. Being awake, they think, is this real or not real? Is this true or not true? Being now awakened, they know it is neither. Thus, when the Bodhisattva arrives at this 8th stage, they are able to see all things truthfully. To be able to actually see and experience the contents of your own conscious mind, the things you see, hear, taste, touch, feel, think. Truly, that's really what the job is. To actually be in full contact with your life without the filters of discrimination or the uncritically examined conditioning of your culture. And yet we're still in a culture. We still have minds. How to be free in such a time? This is the essential question. And again, the discriminating mind will relentlessly go back to saying, well, it's the shiny things are here and the rusty things are there, and that's what we have to do. That may be true in times. It might be real in times, but it is not the deepest truth. They are able to thoroughly understand the significance, see all things truthfully, and really understand the significance of all the dreamlike things, all the things. You want to talk about superpowers? How about that one? Flying with a mechanized suit, turning green and smashing things, wielding the force. That's kind of cool. No, the real superpower is something far more magical and far more real. For you, yourself, to actually see things truly, to realize when you're being chased by that tiger, there's no tiger, there's no self. And then what will you do with the tiger? You know, there's a great video I was showing to Doan earlier. It's I think live. I think it's real. Who can tell these days? But there's this monkey, right? And there's the monkey sitting there, and there's a cobra. And the cobra's doing all this stuff, and the monkey's just chill. And the cobra starts to snap at the monkey, and the monkey just doesn't pay any attention to it and walks around and sits down. And the cobra's like, hey, what's up? And the monkey kind of looks over and grabs the snake and puts it over him like a shawl. And the snake's like, huh? The snake is a little confused by this. The snake drops, looks back. The monkey grabs its tail and puts it down and just sits there. And the snake, interestingly enough, kind of relaxes and leans on the monkey and just rests. It's true. Unless AI did it and I'm fooled. You've heard this phrase, let your demons come and take a little rest. Make good friends with the difficulties. Now, if that monkey had tried to box the snake, he was going to lose. How do you relate correctly to those demons? How do you make right relationship and correct response to this menacing cobra? Wouldn't it be wondrous to see all things truthfully and to understand the significance of them? Notice, the sutra isn't saying there's nothing exists, it matters not, it's all bullshit, do as you will. No. There is a truth to things, and things are significant. Meaning is true if you can see it correctly. The significance of dream-like things in their life as how they came to be and how they pass away. Consider some element or aspect of your life that you're fond of, that you enjoy very much, and hopefully you have at least one. Hopefully many more, hopefully a bouquet of them. I do. Consider this wonderful experience or thing or aspect of yourself and know how it came to be. We should know how it comes to us, says our meal chant. And we should also know how it's going to pass away. This wondrous body, full of wonders indeed. Consider too a difficulty or a challenge. I don't know if you can think of anything regrettable going on in this moment. Perhaps not. Perhaps a bouquet. What would it be to understand how these things actually came to be and knowing that they shall pass? What kind of freedom would that be like? This aspect of yourself that just has to react this way, does it really? Really? Perhaps. Perhaps not. Remember, no matter which way you run from that terrifying tiger in your dream, it's the wrong way, because you're still in the dream. Ever since beginningless time, the mind system has perceived multiplicities of forms and conditions and ideas, forms, sensations, perceptions, mental reactions, consciousness. I don't know if we heard these themes anywhere. Here, this Heart Truth Sutra says, put me in, coach. Form, sensation, perception, discrimination, mental reaction. I like this. Consciousness itself. What are they? Empty. It's not that they're not real. But is it true? How is it that it's true? In what way is it real? This is the business. This has got to be very carefully examined. And you can't examine it by thinking about it. There's no way that the cognitive, linear, linguistic, analytical mind can punch through this. It's not going to happen. Prajna itself perceives and realizes and actualizes the true nature of things, the Tathagata Garbha. And that sees that mind itself is just another wonderful expression of it. Nothing wrong with dreaming. I rather enjoy the dream myself. I have a lot of fun in the dream. Do you? Ever since beginningless time, meaning you have no sense of yourself before you started, and now let's go, run. No, as far as your awareness goes, there is no beginning. Since beginningless time, the mind system has perceived multiplicities of forms and conditions and ideas and selfness, which the thinking mind has discriminated. I like it. I do not like that. And the empirical mind, the thinking mind and the empirical mind, an interesting shift. Empirical means the experiential, the verifiable, empirically verifiable. That mind has experienced and grasped and clung to and pushed away since beginningless time. From this has risen habit energy. A train track has been laid. The water will flow along the topography. There are patterns, you see. And one of the great mistakes is to perceive these patterns of mind as being the self. Well, this is me, after all. I like these bands and this food, and I wear these clothes, and this is my style. These are my traumas and my wounds. These are my identities and how they intersect. And this is the society with its ups and downs, and there's a solid dream cage right there that most of us will live and die in. This habit energy. It has a self-evolution to it. It seeks novel and interesting ways to discriminate the shiny and the prickly. Changes over time. Oh, I like that better now. That's my new favorite. Well, I thought you were this, and now I see you're that. Whoa. I thought I was this, and now I see I'm that. Which is really more to the point, isn't it? But this habit energy, by its accumulation, has conditioned the dream. This is the business about as you think, so you experience. With your thoughts, you create your reality. There's a cheap way to understand that in popular culture. I counsel against it. But the deep way to understand this is that this illusion it's evolving and it's self-conditioning. It's a self-reinforcing prison mechanism, you could say. It's a continuous hamster wheel of carrots and sticks and mirrors and shadow and light show with built-in incentive. Now, Buddhism does not say that some mad creator entity created this prison and flung you into it to watch you suffer. No. Life itself is inherent in reality, in life, in existence. Life forms when the causes and conditions are correct, so says the sutras. And that forming of life is natural, like gravity. And that life evolves. Senses develop. Eventually it gets more and more evolved. We go from pure instinct awareness to more complexity, more subtlety. So you're not you're not flung into this from some external. There's no enemy out there zapping you with evilness. Rather, here you are with this evolved brain, such as it is. Oi. With all its brilliance and terror. And evolution itself does not care at all about you being happy. It's simply not a value. But for us, of course, it is. So we must get past the level of being an organism that seeks to take in nutrients and excrete waste and compete for resources. I mean, come on, amoebas do that. We can do better. So these conditioned illusions of existence and non-existence, of individualness and generality has thus perpetuated the dream state. This is the sutra keeps emphasizing this, that the dream likes dreaming. The machine of the dream is fulfilling to the dream machine itself. There's nothing baked in it that will stimulate you to wake up. That comes from your Dharma eye. That comes from your Buddha nature saying, hey, there's something else possible here. And one of the great tragedies is to have this Buddha nature, this true self, this wisdom eye, if you will, begin to assert itself, and the poor person has no one in their world that they know of or can find that understands anything about what they're talking about. So what do? They swallow it and push it down and just go along to get along. They're there, just stay in the dream, but at least get a credential and a good job, will you? Look, I know this isn't what you want, but society is the way it is. Just walk it off, bucko. Again, we can do better. We need to do better. We live in the wake of unrealized human beings' decisions, like it or not. Let's not add to that list, shall we? At least in the way we navigate our morning meal. Can we be true? Can we relate to each other in this community authentically, realizing full well that everybody here is also, to some level, in the dream and working with edges? No kidding. Who isn't? None that I see. Certainly not myself. But together, we work in this. We're in the boat together. And it's not random. There is a clear course. It's called the Dharma. Practicing the Buddha Dharma. Consider from Chong Sha's record. 9th century, important teacher. This translation is from Katsu Tanahashi. Consider this dream with its seductions and terrors. Instead, hear these words. The entire world of the 10 directions is a single eye of the monk. The entire world in the 10 directions is the everyday words of the monk. The entire world in the 10 directions is the whole body of the monk. The entire world of the 10 directions is the radiant light of the self. The entire world in the 10 directions is within the radiant light of the self. The entire world of the 10 directions, in the entire world of the 10 directions, there is no single person that is not the self. The entire cosmos. 10 directions simply means everywhere, front, back, sides, diagonals, given up and a down, we'll say that's everything, right? All places, all times, all whens, all wheres, all states. Everything is the single eye of an adept practitioner of the Buddha Dharma, I would say. The entire world, the entire cosmos is your everyday language. Good morning. It's good to see you. Welcome. Please sit comfortably so we can see each other. The entire cosmos presents. I'm so sorry. I was being a jerk there. I feel badly about what I said, and I wish to apologize to you. Do you forgive me? The entire cosmos presenting. The entire cosmos in all places is the true human body, the true body of the adept. Do you know your true body? Do you suppose in your dream that it ends with this bag of skin? Are you just another amoeba with a cell membrane taking in nutrients and excreting waste? Or is that amoeba expressing the entire cosmos and realizing it? The entire world in the 10 directions is the radiant light of mind. The radiant light of mind. The entire cosmos is the radiant light of the self, the true self. The entire cosmos, dear one, is you. Not this cat out of the bag. It's always been you. And further, the entire world in the 10 directions is within the radiant light of mind. What is this radiant light of mind? Do you see this? Oh, then you know. Or do you? Finally, in the entire world of the 10 directions, in all the cosmos, all beings, and I mean all of them, even the icky ones, perhaps especially them, there is no single person that is not you yourself. Strong medicine, dear one. Strong medicine, but please take it in. It's just you. Yes, even that person, or those people, or this messed up situation, that tragedy and calamity, that success, it's just you. How do we realize it? How do we break free from the conditioning and live a true human life? Not what mom and dad told you you're supposed to be, or what your clergy or priest or rabbi tells you, not what society lays down on you, not the inherited traumas of your biological line, or the cultural blind spots that we all inhabit. None of that stuff is going to reach it. Nor even the best, most carefully thought through and true words possible. Ultimately, they fail as well. You yourself have got to realize this. And how do you know? With this not creating, with this not discriminating, with this non-judging mind, in all of its evolving discriminations, let go of, and I mean let go. Do not cling to these stories. You let go of the discriminations, there is a complete cessation of strain and effort. It takes a lot of effort to do sesshin, does it not? No, it doesn't. Well, I'm supposed to strain and show the teacher my strain so that I earn my... No. Stop being silly. That is not the currency of your awakening. This is not some self-flagellating martyrdom trip. But it does take effort, this waking up. My teacher used to say that it was like a mother hen. There's the egg, you know, the little chick inside the egg. Tap, tap. The mother, been waiting for a while. Oh, something's alive in there, good. And the mother hen will start pecking back. Tap, tap, peck, peck. But now the mother hen has got to be very careful, okay? If she goes too fast, she'll kill it. Right? The chick in there has got to be developed sufficiently to withstand this awakening. Training is needed. Development has to happen. Even if that little chick knows there's something beyond and really wants to, you won't get there with, you've got to get, See, we speak universal language now. But then we've got to do something else. Eventually, the pecking and the tapping and the pecking and the tapping, not too soon. If the mother hen doesn't do anything, it can't break out. It'll get stuck there and die at just the right time, at just the right amount. There's a little bit of a necessary shock that comes along. This is good? This doesn't feel good? Yes, dear one, it's exactly what you need. Yes, it is. You shattered my world. Yeah. I had paintings on the inside of the shell. I had made nice. What are you doing? I don't... No matter how nice you paint the cell, do not stay there. Do not make a nest in this prison. It will abandon you. You cannot rely on it. You know this. You know this. Tap, tap, peck, peck, tap, peck, opening. Okay, bring the words. Tenzo, bring the worms. Is the chick done at that point? No. You know what comes next, right? They got to get used to the nest, and they got to eat enough and get strong, right? And then what? Then mom has got to do what? Push him out of the nest. Ah, I thought you loved me. Unless it's a chicken. We'll switch to sparrows. It's a little easier. So that's what the process of training is like. Look, is that... It's true. I can attest from my own experience. Oh, okay. Yeah. And the sutra too. You see, rather than dealing with the shadow puppets of tigers and rivers in your dream, deal with the real struggle, the real true work. That's coming to awakening. That's living an authentic, true life, not because you're doing what someone like me or anyone else is telling you you ought to do, but you know it for yourself. This is a hard one, but critical. There's no more important thing to do in the world, because the world really has many important things to do and almost no one to do it. So for the sake of all beings throughout space and time in all 10 directions, may we realize that there is no one but the self, and may we take good care of the self. May it be so.
Thank you for coming to our Sunday service.